Damn internet. Oh. Okay. It's working. Where's my sage? Where's my sage? Oh, found it. Hi, Scorpio's eye. How are you? I'm losing my voice. Don't know if you guys can see that. Can you see the black smoke coming off my sage? Why people gotta do that? Oh, you're just getting off work? Beer o'clock. Probably why I feel so tired. Misha, hello. How have we got there? Hi, Bernie. I love the numerology in your name. Oh, the black smoke, it's a really good indication because it's the same bunch of sage I've been using for a while, and I switch them out and check that other sage sticks are okay. But usually what it means is that somebody's either doing magic in my direction, that it's a sign of negative energies in my space. So negative energies being sent my way. Which is fine. It just means I have to transmute those energies. Which is probably why I woke up the last couple of days incredibly unwell. Feeling sick. Usually when somebody is doing any kind of negative thoughts or energies that they send my way, being so sensitive, my body picks it up. And then when I start with the sage, it usually shows me that it's there. So I've cleansed my space, but yeah. Is early today. Driving but listening. Thank you. Welcome. Thank you, Misha. Misha, you've already pre-booked a question. Let's clear these energies, spirit, angels, ancestors, and spirit guides. Return to sender all negative energies and frequencies sent my way or to the way of my collective. Allow them freedom and protection from the evil eye, from negativity, from jealousy, from envy. Send protection our way, please, Spirit. Ancestors of the Most High, send protection our way. Thank you. Return to sender. Address unknown. No such number. No such zone. I did. I don't have the question though. Do I go back? It's incredibly generous of you. Thank you so much, Misha. When I'm tapping into the energies though, because I did that obviously straight away when I knew you had a question, I instantly felt very, very nervous and anxious. So I don't think it's me because I was pretty good beforehand. And that could be what the dark smoke is, the anxiety, the negative energy, the frequency that's coming through. Thank you. Thank you for the likes. All right. Daniel. Oh. That get in there. Do you want me to ask how Daniel is? What is he doing? Seventh card is meant for me. Believe in the impossible. Blue moon. Believe in the impossible. Hi Cappy Jen, how are you, my sweet? I will upload this to YouTube, very much so. Did you want to do your reading? I can pre-record your reading though. I can do it separately away from the live if you want to do it that way. You're welcome, Stevie. Hi, Michelle. It's entirely up to you what you want to do, what you feel comfortable with. Oh, that's right. Oh, fuck. I was meant to... I'm so sorry. I completely forgot. I got into prepping for Luca's birthday party last night, and I completely forgot. Let me see if I've got the questions. Come on, internet. It wasn't you, it was me. My internet keeps dropping out, which doesn't make for an easy watch, does it? So I don't get it. Is it working? Okay. It's rather frustrating living where I live. It's hard to... We don't have cable internet, so it's always just awful to work with. Hi, Warren? Lauren? Warren. Lauren with a W. Yes, I remember your energy. How are you, beautiful? Okay, Misha. As long as you can hear me, so I can answer your question and it's flowing okay for you, we'll get to your, we'll get to Daniel. Well, thank you. What's going on? What deck do you use for Daniel Spirit? angels, ancestors, spirit guides, guide me clearly. Allow me to hear clearly, see clearly, feel clearly. Allow me to hear clearly, see clearly, feel clearly. Allow me to hear clearly, see clearly, feel clearly. Connect me to Daniel's spirit. Wow, that's amazing. Okay. What did I miss? Okay, Misha, Daniel, I'm asking Spirit to show us his frequency, his energy for like where he is at this time frame. We get visualization, look at the bigger picture and show the world the real you. I'm going to get the cards out as well. Visualization, please, Spirit. Let's Daniel visualizing. That makes so much sense. Very hermit mode, so much keeping to himself, incredibly quiet, going through a phase in time where this is almost divinely guided for him, because we have the Temperance card here as well. We have visualization and we have the Hermit. Three major energies suggesting that Daniel's energy right now is a lot about viewing forward and a lot about taking a view on his life and looking back over the pictures. Visualization is memories, but it's also manifesting for the future. This is also tapping into the wisdom and look, I've got to say, visualization is about psychic gifts. It's about dreams. It's about, and the reason why it's about psychic gifts is because the visualizations an individual has at times are so fierce and so strong and so intense, and they're in that visualization mode, especially when we're in hermit mode. This time, the way this is like winter energy. It's cold, it's snowing, he's covered up, he looks old, but he's not incredibly, this is not saying he's a 60-year-old. I do see a mature adult, and I do think you mentioned he's an adult. But this is Virgo energy, and the Virgo energy is someone who spends time alone, and the reason why they spend a lot of time alone is because of reflection, it's because of internalization, it's because of visualization. And that lantern is lit up because that's all the wisdom and the knowledge and the insights that are available to him when he's there in that moment. But if you see, that lantern doesn't light the whole way, it's not lighting the whole path, it's only lighting the here and now. All we need, this person's in the here and now, right now, looking into their current space, their current life, their current choices. And then I feel a step of looking back and waiting. There's an element of being patient and waiting here. And looking at the bigger picture, show the world the real you. I see Daniel is in a form of self-discovery, of self-realization, of learning who he is, of learning his internal magic, so to speak. Look at the bigger picture, look at the bigger picture, look at the bigger picture. Okay. My books are all the way over there. One moment. Okay, I want to look at the bigger picture, because this is full moon in Sagittarius. There's sometimes this is reflective of travel, of movement, and we do have the Wheel of Fortune here. And the Wheel of Fortune to me does represent big, massive changes. However, this is in the reverse. There seems to be a wanting to bring back of a cycle, a wanting to bring back something that may have completed. And it looks to me like a marriage, a commitment. There's something to do with the legal contracts and legal documents that's here. And a leaving of a situation, a walking away of a situation. So there's an energy of looking, there's 8 cups that this person's walking away from. And they are walking towards the mountains. And see, I feel like this person's got, if they're going through a separation, it looks to me like a separation in a marriage, in a contract. It could be business, but there's emotions here. There's a lot of, there was happiness, there was connection, there was love here. This is what's showing in this energy. And this person's looking over documentation, information, trying to get second opinions, investigating into what went wrong with the connection. Why did things turn upside down? There's a Wheel of Fortune and the 4 of Wands. And it's like somebody's walked away from a family, from love, from emotions, even though they're looking back over it, assessing it, reflecting on it, and waiting on the right time to show the world the real you. Full moon in Aquarius. And I do get Aquarius vibes off the Page of Swords as well. There's Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. I do get Aquarius here again. But there's a lot of, there's Virgo energy and Sagittarius energy too. He lives with his girlfriend. This could be, it's not looking like commitment, it's not looking like forever. There's something to do with commitments and contracts and legalities and paperwork where there's a walking away of something and a leaving of something behind, but a leaving of something behind that was emotional, that had feelings, where there was a full cup at one point, cup representing happiness and elation. I do keep looking at the globe that I have on a shelf behind me, and I can't see the country that it is I can see here. It's too far away and my eyes aren't that good, but I can see the Pacific Ocean, right? What's that? So look at the bigger picture. What's these? Look at the bigger picture. Walking away from something, and this is, I've got a feeling it has something to do with the recent Sagittarius season that we've just been through. The recent Sagittarius season. Look at the bigger picture. Full moon in Sagittarius. Here we go. Are you thinking too much about the details of your dilemma? Fretting over minute can be counterproductive. Or perhaps you're being all talk and no action. This card is a reminder that while it's good to think things through, sometimes you need to step back and look at the bigger picture. What do you see about your current situation? What's the most positive thought you can have about it? Now is the time to count your blessings, even if you don't yet have exactly what you want. This card is also a reminder that we often have to take a few risks to go with uncertainty on this journey. Try to keep an open mind about what's for the best. The universe could surprise you. Take time out for a mini break or adventure. This situation may have come around because you've been distracted. Be confident without being overconfident. Have you shown that you care? If not, now is the time. Find a balance between speaking your mind and saying too much. The full moon in Sagittarius is a time when we are being reminded that life is an adventure and there is a big wide world to see beyond our backyard. It's about having fun and being prepared to sail into uncharted territory. It's about big ideas versus the details. No matter when you draw this card, it encourages you to look at the bigger picture and show the world the real you. Full moon in Aquarius. That's what I'm seeing here is this is also the home card. So this is the marriage card, this is the home card, this is celebrations, this is parties, this is contracts. This is like a wedding card. To me, that's home. To me, this is the travel card, and it's in the reversed energy. It is sitting here in the reverse. It's like somebody's looking at this with the investigation card from about something that they've walked away from and trying to see things from a bigger picture, that reflecting, isolating in order to know whether or not this is, when's the right time. Visualization, thinking about, dreaming about, seeing what this change would do, trying to look at the bigger picture of what I guess the move would mean and show the world the real you. Is he able, this is saying to me, this is what I was just about to get to, show the world the real you. This energy that I'm getting from this is, I feel like it's like the word that came to mind sounds more offensive than it is anything like midlife crisis, but it's not a midlife crisis, it's an internal reflection. It's like a Saturn return energy where we look at our life and we assess our situations, we assess where we are, who we are with. He's a very artistic person and he sings. That's that Aquarian energy there as well. They're usually incredibly creative and artistic and unique, and it's being confident and comfortable and being able to express that, make money from that and share that with the world, and being okay with being able to do that. Hi Enzo. But there's definitely an instance here of feeling unlucky, of feeling like change isn't happening, of feeling like life has been on the lower end of the scale for a bit too long for this person. And there is a feeling of home. There is this Wheel of Fortune in the reverse sitting next to the home, and I feel like it's got more to do with the ability to travel. We do have Judgment here, which is second chances. It's making a decision. So there is definitely major energy, major decisions being made. And this is the Queen of Cups. So the Queen of Cups is Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, but this is also the mother. She's always my mother of the tarot. I always feel her as a mum because she's got little cherubs in her throne. Baby cherubs that she looks after, that she nurtures, that she cares for. She's a nurse. She's a counselor. Thank you, Bakula. Thank you. She's all these beautiful, wonderful, caring, nurturing things, but she's also incredibly empathic, and she can sense. You're right, she's incredibly anxious, but it's more from an empathic point of view. She feels him, she senses him, she knows things about him. It makes sense. If you're gifted, so would your sister be as well. It usually is very genetic, these gifts. Mine's generational. A lot of majors here though, that's the thing. There is a lot of big things going on. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 major arcanas here. That isn't just everyday cycles of life and everyday motions and everyday responsibilities and everyday thoughts. This is big decisions. This is big life-changing energies. The Hermit is a time of isolation, a time of reflection. This is, the beginning of September energy, where here in Australia where it's cold. And in this card it's cold. And he's holding up a lantern and he's holding the staff to represent all the knowledge and wisdom from his life, from his journeys, where he's been, where he's going. But he's only really looking in the here and now. The light is only lighting up the next step of the journey. It's not really lighting up the whole way, which is why it's more isolation. Hello! But this Temperance is here, so they're absolutely protected, and there is a divine protection happening during this Hermit mode. And the Temperance with the visualization coming out is all tying in together. It's like he's being shown the bigger picture intuitively. He's being shown it from like where he needs to place his feet on the ground and where he needs to place his feet in his emotions. It's like tapping into his emotions and tapping into the grounding. And being grounded while making an emotional decision is what I get from the Temperance card, because one foot is on the land and one foot is in the water. And she's got 2 cups full of water, but she's pouring them the water evenly between the cups. Wings representing an angel. And this angel is coming down as a divine protection for Daniel, to help him temper his emotions, to help him ground himself and understand what it is that he's feeling during this time of, which is really visualizing a new phase in life and visualizing what's coming in next. Wow, no way. So his grandmother's father's side is a gift with seeing. I think it runs in your family as well. It's definitely on your side too. 100% on your side as well. The energy here is he's feeling unlucky at this point in time. He's feeling stagnant at this point in time, and this is because of a divinely guided Hermit mode. And the Hermit mode is when we don't reach out to people, we don't talk to people, we don't want people to talk to us. Or even if we have started out the Hermit mode, it can be a couple of days, it can be a couple of months. The Hermit mode can last for years, depending on what it is that we're healing, what it is within ourselves that we're tempering, what it is that within our emotions. And what creates grounding is needing balancing out. And this is coming to the realization through visualization of showing his true self to the world, of being authentic with who he is, with his creative side, with his unique abilities and his uniqueness. And this is I do feel his mum's here in this energy. And Judgment is, oh my God, there are so many majors. So many. Judgment and the Sun. Let's go. What's the show the world the real you, please, Spirit? Show the world the real you. What's this got to do with? Oh, Betty. This is a new adventure. This is a new life. This is a new beginning. After this isolation, it's like the little dog at his ankles, his intuition here is telling him, boo, 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 bite, 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 biting at his ankles, barking at him as his best mate, his loyal guardian, his best friend, his everything that is, always there to protect him and guide him. Those who have dogs would know how loyal and protective we are. You can feel your, because the Queen of Cups, she's looking down at the cup, she's looking at the cup that's full of emotion, the lid's on top, not being able to express their feelings is very painful, definitely. But here's the Fool. This is Aries energy, but this to me is also the energy of somebody who's just about to take a leap in a whole new direction in life. They're following their intuition, they're listening to their guide, they're packing light, there's no baggage. And this is literally what comes after a Hermit mode, when we've been able to reflect, when, money may have even been tight for a little while as well. But I'm not seeing much about the Pentacles here. I'm seeing more about emotions. It's like it's an awakening of some kind that's happening for Daniel. And there is a new direction, this is why this is so divinely guided and protected. It's like all these cups, this tempering, this guardian angel that's working with Daniel right now, helping him balance out these emotions and what needs to be grounding. I feel like there's something to do with not being able to commit, not knowing whether or not with this current partner that he's with, is he wanting to commit or not? Does he feel lucky in this connection, is what I'm getting from the Wheel of Fortune and the Four of Wands as well. There's a bit of that. I don't see him asking for help during this phase at all. The Hermit is a very, very isolated, very independent energy. Strong energy of that, and there is something that he's thinking about, looking at the bigger picture, about walking away from. He loves this energy, has feelings and emotions, but looking at the facts with the Page of Swords, going over the information, looking at it all on paper, contractually, it doesn't seem to be lucky, it doesn't seem to be fortunate. There's something about this energy that's going on, and this is now coming out as feeling about taking a risk It's a risk. This is a risk. But it's a risk this person's going to take. What's the risk Daniel's going to take? There's happiness here. He's holding a yellow flower. Oh, right. Okay, so that wants to come out in the reverse when I picked it up. Ace of Cups on the bottom now. And the Queen of Swords up the top. This is you, Libra energy. This is emotional energy. This is feeling full of emotion. This is explaining emotionally with their, like, overflowing with of emotion about the drama, about the conflict. This is 5 members of a family potentially wanting to invest here. There is an awakening here. And then there's the Queen of Cups again. Unbelievable. And you saw me shuffle that deck. So the Queen of Cups back here, death and rebirth, cycles that are closing to open anew. We've got the 7 of Pentacles here, Taurus, Capricorn, Virgo, and here's the drama and the conflict. There's a little bit of drama, there's conflict, there's this person's overflowing with emotion and going to come in. And then we have the 5 of Pentacles under that. So that's somebody who themselves feels left out in the cold. They feel abandoned for some reason, and it's due to some kind of conflict or drama. And I think it has something to do with being, it's like not being, this is somebody who's coming out of a period of time where they were overly busy. This is not being able to manage all their responsibilities. This is feeling overwhelmed. This is probably working too much, this is a lot going on, a lot of responsibilities that we're not coping with, that we are overwhelmed with, and it is bringing in a feeling of feeling stuck. So it's like, show the world the real you. There's this awakening, this isolation, there's an awakening here. So there is going to be a rebirth when it comes to this connection with Daniel and his mother. That's definitely here, and it's going to be an extremely emotional time, and there may be a little bit of conflict as a part of these conversations. But this person, I feel Daniel's, at this point in time, before being able to take this risk, is feeling stuck. There's an element of feeling stuck. There's an element of being anxious. There's an element of being in his head just a little bit too much, and that is because he's in hermit mode. When we're in hermit mode, we are in our head, we're reflecting, we're visualizing, we're looking back. So right now it's going through the visualization process, and with spirit coming and tempering him. Angels, I'm seeing Gabriel. Archangel Gabriel just is the name that keeps shining like big bold letters on top of my head on the screen, but I know you guys can't see it. Unless you can, then that would be cool. But I feel like Gabriel is here while Daniel's going through this isolation. You don't have to be single when you're going through isolation, but it's a very isolated energy. It's an internalized energy. And it is this disconnection that leads to somebody like investing in themselves and building themselves and really, really seeing that, wow, what I did, what I've done, what I've taken time to grow. However long it's been, 7 months, 7 years. What have we got? 1 year to 5 months, 7 months. I don't know how long it's been, but it's been a while that this person's been making some bad investments, some bad decisions. They've not been working in this person's favor. So it's going within to also look, well, what can I change? What can I adjust? What needs removing, what needs planting, what needs fertilizing. It's like looking at what they've put time and energy in for years. Okay, it's been a long time, and these modes can last I think that's why I felt like bringing up their time zones, because the hermit mode, I've had hermit modes that have lasted like a month, and then I've had hermit modes that have lasted years. My last hermit mode was like close to 2 years. I feel like I'm still actually in one, to be honest. I rarely leave my house. So, if I didn't have to work, I probably wouldn't speak to anybody other than my child. And that's just because I'm going through this healing. I am going through this mode. I'm going through a reflection mode. I recognize this energy a lot. But I think what will help things here a little bit and help your sister is to know that there is guardianship around him. He is being protected. The conflict and the fighting and the arguing has created a lot of emotions, but with the Death card here and the Queen of Cups wanting to show up within that spread, feeling abandoned, feeling left out in the cold, I feel like there's been a lot of defensive energy, potentially from Daniel being defensive. And that's a lot of reflection that this person's actually building upon, reflecting and looking into and looking back over here. I feel he's going to be a little bit longer yet before contact's really made. I just want to get a different deck. It's definitely on his mind. It's definitely on his mind. It's definitely in his energy. This conflict and the emotions. Wow. Whoa, okay. This is brilliant. Well, it's not brilliant, but it's going to help you understand his perception, his perspective, right? Where this conflict and this drama and defensive nature actually comes from. Four of Roses. I've not seen this, I've not read this card or seen this card, but I've got a very strong energy. Look at that red, red, red. All that root chakra energy, right? Childhood energy. But this is about the ego. The ego also can be stemmed from our root chakra because it's where we develop. Three people stand together before a full-length mirror. The man in the center gazes keenly at himself, and it seems his reflection is looking back with a superior air. His is the sole reflection to be seen in the mirror. This card shows that there may be thoughtless, selfish person in your life, whether in love, friendship, family, or business relationship. This person is self-absorbed and makes plans only in terms of how they affect him or her. You may have lingered too long, repeatedly giving to this person, even though you haven't received much in return. You've tolerated the dismissiveness because you kept hoping things would be better, or perhaps you were too afraid to step away. You are called now to be aware. This person is unlikely to change. You may be delaying the inevitable. Take an honest look in the mirror and see how staying in this relationship affects your future. This is, you know, that relationship that we're talking about, this girlfriend, I feel like that's what he's looking at actually walking away from with that Eight of Cups. With looking at the bigger picture, show the world the real you. He's unable to be authentic, to be happy, to be in this relationship. He blames his father for bad choices, but is back with my sister. Yeah, that's a lot of what's coming out of here too, that childhood stuff, hence reflecting why the kind of relationships and connections that he's in now are reflective of that root chakra, the ego that is now built up within him. The way he then, that ego that is the egoic mind, the ego is unable to view themselves objectively, and it's more self-absorbed. And it's not to say that he's not a good person, it's just that it's not looking at that situation when it comes to his father objectively. It's not looking at the choices that other people make for their own lives objectively. It's looking at it from a self-reflective point of view, which is more about the self, which is egoic. But then that takes healing within itself. Like, this is the process I believe he's actually going through. He's now in a relationship. Yeah, he saw a lot. Yeah. Now that he's in these connections, these relationships are always wind up, our connections, our love, our romance relationships 100% reflect our relationships in childhood. Because it's how the universe works. The universe loves to place a mirror in front of us and say, hey, look, see how this defined you, see how this built your character, see how this conditioned you to respond, to react, to feel. Whatever the situation, whatever the conditioning, whatever it was that caused the situation or the conversation in the first place to happen. So when we see this, when I'm feeling the energy I'm feeling off this card, is that this person, Daniel's only looking at all these, the conflict and the drama at this point, like before now, their inability to look at it, the situation and choices made by others from an objective point of view, instead of and a more compassionate point of view, instead of how it affected him. It's like seeing why other people acted in a particular way, why their choices were made, and how they were made. What was his father's conditioning? What was his father's upbringing? There are so many reasons that come into play as to why, as humans, we project. So I feel like this is a lesson that's being learned during his hermit mode. What is being taught and protected by and divinely needing to see, and it's being shown to him through his relationships. Correct. Yes. And sometimes when we're a little hard-headed at times, and I can see someone here can be a little bit hard-headed, with that energy, when we get defensive, when we're on guard of situations rather than receptive to, you know, those kinds of conversations we can have with people where people are either listening to understand or they're listening to respond. And sometimes this Daniel looks like he's more listening to respond because he's already got what he wants to say in mind. So it's directing conversations to where he wants to express those feelings, what's being built up, but not knowing how to express them compassionately without ego. If that makes sense. I want to get you that healing. I did pick that deck up earlier, didn't I, Spirit? Healing, 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 healing. Become more objective. We would, oh, thank you, Spirit. Spirit told me to grab this book. This makes sense. He needs to become more objective. He needs to become more objective. It's amazing that this card jumped out the way it did. Number 4, especially when it comes to the home, the family, the foundations. Spirit always blows my mind. Like, the way the conversation channels, and then it's like, let's back it up with the visuals, let's back it up with the card, let's get this belief system happening, that this is what's going on with this individual. You're being challenged to step out of your subjective experience of what has been done to you and to look at a situation objectively. If a person has acted in a hurtful, dishonorable way towards you, you have an opportunity to understand the real cause that has made them believe like this or behave like this. Often this cause can be found in what they have experienced in their childhood, which will point towards the lessons they have brought from other lives. This is a chance to develop compassion and to see the situation differently. You are also being asked to objectively look at yourself and what role you have had in creating a challenging situation. If you can truly learn the lessons in this experience, you can move on to something different. If not, you'll be stuck in a constant pattern of repeating the old. We can't make this shit up. It's his lesson in objectivity, in remaining objective, in remaining compassionate. And Spirit is speaking strongly today. It's that Neptune energy. So it's incredibly blowing my mind right now about that conversation with this card jumping out. Is the look at this when it reminds me of Jesus on the cross. It reminds me of very religious vibes. I'm getting very religious vibes from this. So, Nisha, I hope that is helpful to see that card come out like that after channeling that conversation, because with with him feeling stuck and being able to take a risk and go somewhere new. Your sister is very religious. I feel that, and I feel like he's had a very religious upbringing. Hence a lot of his, like the discipline that comes with some religions, and, when we're strong in a faith and strong in a belief, there's no other way. So it's kind of like that might have been dramatic for him or conflicting for his energy with being different and being out there and being a little bit more unique and creative, and there's just something unusual about this energy, about Daniel's energy, that he felt unaccepted about as well. So I do get a little bit of that, but there's also the awakening of his ego, the awakening of needing to be more objective and compassionate about those situations. and feeling quite unlucky and unfortunate in the connection that he's in right now. And that's why the healing card comes out. It's like it's going to keep reflecting the patterns until he heals that. I always tell my sister the good she gave him is there. Exactly. And it definitely is there. And he does have that in him. But I know, like, it reminds me a little bit of me. I grew up not in a religious family, but in a very spiritual family. So I grew up in a family who I was born into a spiritual practice called Subud, where they their practice is Latihan. That's why my name is Namala. But apart, I was named by the founder of Subud, not my parents, and you're named by your spirituality, and they receive the information from Allah, from God. And so God or Allah, whatever your name from, I call it Source. And I still took a somewhat different path. My family receive all the information through Latihan, through their spiritual practice, through opening themselves up to Source with no questions and just allowing themselves to receive. And that's a very spiritual practice. The feminine and the masculine stay separate. It's a beautiful practice, actually. And hence why I did come back and get opened eventually, which helped me heal a lot of my own traumas and own healings and own conditionings. There's something within his energy that I really relate to. And it's like that I stepped away from my family for many years. It was close to 15 years that I kind of just went on my own different path and went on a different direction, and it was the opposite of where I was raised and how I was raised. And I still had those pieces of me, and they were still a part of me, and they were still my core, but I fought against them because I wanted to be the same. Instead of being different, I wanted to fit in instead of being like who I was, how I was raised, what made me what I am. Being born into a spiritual group that practice receptivity of connecting with her higher selves, with a higher source, with a higher power, and receiving information. Imagine your mother being pregnant with you at that time and you're being conceived through such energy. And around the time that I was conceived, my father was in Bali or somewhere in Indonesia just beforehand at a major salamatan, which is where like we're clearing out all the negative energy, all the trauma, and it's very spiritual, and it's with every other member that could get there. So I still had this part of me that had the same belief systems and the same spirituality and the same visions and thoughts, but I didn't want to accept this version of me because not many people are accepting of that version of me. You know what I mean? Until I started to accept myself and accept who I was, and I drifted back into, and now I'm completely who I am and authentic to my true self. And that meant that a lot of people that I was around and spent time with faded away. Connections that I thought I'd be with forever just don't fit anymore. They don't fit me anymore because they were a part of my life when I wasn't living my authentic self. So when you start to become your authentic self, everything that you were faking, you see everything that around, not faking, trying to believe that you were, what was attached to that is just not real anymore. So there is a sense of him coming back to his core, coming back to his roots, coming back to his family with this energy. But right now his energy was coming on board. He's being protected. He's being divinely guided by, I believe, Archangel Gabriel and Michael. Mostly Gabriel are looking after him and watching him and blessing him with the lessons in being more objective and having more compassion, coming back to his roots of what he was learning and what he was taught from his mother through the religion. And it's coming back to that. But there's a lot of going away first, of the walking away, that Eight of Cups energy. That when we get to a certain destination, we see the full cups that we actually left behind. Or we see the emotions that we left behind. We see the attachments that we left behind. And we sometimes go back to them. So there is an energy of that healing and coming back. But there's a lot of reflection and internalization and knowledge that he has to come into intuitively first. Ah. Hi Faval, how are you? I want to get a Namaste card for your sister and for yourself, so I'm going to get one for Misha and one for Misha. Namaste for Misha, please. The qualities you admire in others, you also possess. There is a treasure within you. This card is here to help you reconnect with the well of wisdom, creativity, and beauty inside you. It is time to shine your light. That's a beautiful picture too. For your sister. For your sister, Misha. For your sister. Created life. Allow the inner child to be a master for a while and don't take things too seriously. Have fun. Explore the world of endless possibility. Something wonderful is created through imagination and innocence. Is that the second time in a week? No way. Spirit don't mess about. They don't mess about. And this is one for Daniel, if he ever gets to see this. Or there's two. Oh, my neck is in so much pain. Oh my God, I want a chiropractor so bad. I wish I could just have a chiropractor that showed up once a week. I need daily for my neck, but like somebody once a week. Do the hips, do the back, do the neck. Oh. For Daniel, each time you notice a negative thought cross your mind, stop and consciously replace it with a positive one. Practice this until the pattern is broken. You will set yourself free. This is a blessing you give to yourself. It will lead you to a feeling of deep peace and contentment. And the blessing of patience. A blessing comes disguised as a setback or delay. This card is confirmation that you are on the right path. With patience and perseverance, you will reach your goal. All is accomplished in perfect time. And that's that divine timing card that he received earlier as well. So yeah, a lesson in being more objective and compassionate. Oh, don't be sorry. It's okay. If I get, sometimes I had this lady who was in, always in pain. Like, and to me it felt like it was my pancreas, because I was able to identify. I asked my higher self, which part of my body is this that's hurting, and it felt like my pancreas or my gallbladder, like around that area. So we did a one-on-one reading with her, and I set the intentions to transmute the energies like I usually do, so you can at least leave this live or leave your reading feeling lighter, feeling less pain, less aching. And I did her reading for her a week ago. She noticed the pain disappear while we were during the reading, but it's not come back. And this was a consistent pain that she had for a very long time. I don't know if I had anything to do with it. She believes I did, and I did feel her pain. So if there might be something in that, there might be something in what I do as a healer naturally that I've been told that I do it as well by a shaman as a part of my gifts. The reason why I find it difficult in social surroundings or around too many people or in busy places is the transmutation that happens from me naturally, the absorption of the energies and what I take on, the physical pain. And I needed to learn how to transmute those energies. I was diagnosed, in the process, it takes a few months to get the diagnosis, but I was in the process of being diagnosed with fibromyalgia. I was in that much pain. And since I've learned how to transmute energies a little bit better and not take on what isn't mine, I feel it so I can know that I'm transmuting something for a little bit, but then it goes for me as well. So I literally don't feel my neck at the moment. So that does happen, and I still don't know if it really is anything that I'm doing. It just seems to appear that it is. Now, I have Bakula, who has a beautiful donation here. My love, how are you? How can I help you today? I'm going to go with the general, I'm guessing. Actually, no, I feel like you've got a question today. You're welcome, Misha. No? I think it's my Wi-Fi that's kicking. Should I reset it? Is Bakula still here? Should I reset it, Bakula? Okay. Oh. Okay, is Bakula in the room? It's okay. Oh, hi, my love. Okay, I just want, I'll do Bakula's reading, but if my friend Fine Fans are still around, I'll do your reading next, okay, my loves? Loud and clear. I've got really sore hips today as well. You're welcome. General? Alright. I'm just going to quickly go to the toilet and I'll be right back. Excuse me, I'll be right back. I've been doing this challenge where I'm trying to drink enough water, right? And it's been doing wonders for my skin, so I'm going to keep it up. But honestly, the amount of times I've got to go to the bathroom, annoying. But I'm challenging myself. Do you think I should close it out and come back? I'll do Bakula's reading first. Yeah, what do you want guidance on? I feel like we need to get specific, Bakula. Next move, I love it. I like these questions because the next move in life, I like looking forward a lot. Yeah. And is it more overwhelmed when you have a decision to make, or is it overwhelmed of the unknown? Oh, Jen as well, yes. Okay, I think it's Moonology. Oh my god, we've got plenty of time today too. It's only 11:40. I got on early. Mostly the unknown. Yeah. Cool. What to do? is this? Okay, but everybody who's in the live right now, there's 7 of you. There's this I just heard Spirit say, if you're a YouTube person, or if you've got YouTube, which I hope you do, because like, way better than TV. There is like angel frequency to harmonize your space and attract abundance, prosperity, and good luck. 999 hertz, right? 999 hertz. Any kind of frequency that you can find that's 999 hertz or above as a frequency, to go to bed with this, to sleep with this, to listen to it as your background music instead of background TV content, that our brain still takes down that data and takes it in. I'm feeling like this is going to be a fantastic way, because you're good with your body movement, you're good with dancing, you're good with releasing that energy, like in a physical sense. But what I'm getting here is like with this meditate and contemplate, when you're going into a meditation, trying to get into that quiet space, and you're finding it difficult to quiet the thoughts, to quiet the mind, to quiet the worry, to quiet the anxiety, because this frequency is absolutely amazing. Like the 99, even 847, so 847 hertz, 888 hertz, and 999 hertz. Just YouTube any of that, Google it. I don't know if you can get it on Spotify. I'm not a huge Spotify fan. It just seems to be annoying for me. But if the YouTube ones, and some of them go for about 8 hours, 8 or 9 hours, so you can have them just as your background sound and noise. Seriously, that life is energy. We are energy. We are made up of so much water that if you look at a water in a bowl and the way music and sound affects the frequency, the vibrations, the waves, the current of that water, you can bet what we're consuming and what's in our energetic frequency around us is doing the same. So when we're feeling anxious, when we're feeling overwhelmed, when we're feeling unable to make decisions, right? When we're in that energy, the cooler especially, this is the time. This is when it's time to put the sound on, these frequencies on. And it's playing that energy in that frequency, and it really does, as your mind's processing all that data that you've collected throughout that day and deciding what to do with it, what to keep, what to throw, what to suppress. All of this is this healing frequency helps that happen in such a more gentle state. Some of you might only want to listen to like rain sounds or water sounds, but it might be a transition to move into something a little bit different. But it's a strong amount of advice that I can give to you, because this new moon in Pisces card is giving me that energy of needing to really get grounded, but to also still be intuitive at the same time. It's like your psychic self is speaking to you, especially at the moment. A lot of us are finding our intuition getting stronger, and that is because we are in the sun of Pisces. But it's not just that. There's so many other placements and movements happening in our sky that haven't happened in such a long time, for years, even for centuries. And with this going on, it's creating a lot of newness and a lot of connection. It's very spiritual shift that is happening, whether we want to recognize it or not. There are people out there that are like, shift, blah blah blah, all these woke people. It's not about being woke, it's about looking at science. This is science. It's happening. You know what I mean? The world leaders look at this stuff. They watch. That's why they work with NASA. What? Come on. Like, you know what I mean? There's a lot more going on through the powers and the pulls of the astrological sky, especially when it comes to frequencies and sounds. We've got to trust in the fact that frequency and energy is everything. Planets are energy. They pull in a certain way. They draw us in a certain way. That's why they have characteristics, because what does that energy make a human act like, behave like, project like? Like, that's what these planets do. It's energy, because we're made of water. We are pulled. Look what the moon does to the ocean, you know, with the tides. We follow the moon to know what the tides are going to be. It's just so much involved that with the planets that we've got to understand that it affects us as a human. And with Piscean sun and with what's going on, our intuitive abilities are most certainly getting stronger. And for a lot of us, that creates a bit of anxiety. My daughter herself, I know, is incredibly anxious at the moment, and she can't identify what thoughts are creating it, and it just seems to be coming out of nowhere. There is something here about show the world the real you. So I'm going to read all 3 cards to you, Bakula, but I just want to grab some tarot. Meditate and contemplate, please. Fantastic. Don't let your pride get in the way. Don't let pride get in the way. Don't let pride get in the way. Here's that King of Cups coming in for you. All right. Bakula, I can never, ever get a negative energy for you in your reads. It is phenomenal. It is phenomenal. Meditate and contemplate. What you're going through right now is anticipation. Anticipation for this wish fulfillment. It is honestly insanely beautiful energy. This is healing. This is, look at the way that her heart is reaching to the sky. All that purple. This is hope. This is faith. This is meditate and contemplate. Have hope. Have faith when you're meditating. When you have those thoughts that pop up that may be fear-based, that may be anxiety-based, that may be overwhelmed because of what's unknown. What is unknown is so good to you. Sit with that fact. What is unknown to you right now is your Empress mode. Mode of receptivity. Mode of like abundance. Your world completely changing. The world here. Like there's new cycles. This is major. The only thing I can say here, Bakula, is what seems to show up to you is when this King of Cups comes into your life. When this person who loves you profoundly, who's in touch with his emotions, who expresses himself well, who doesn't allow feelings to dictate actions, however, still relaxed and chilled and spiritual and empathic and nurturing, a wonderful father. There's something about pride getting in the way of this. There's something about pride maybe blocking it out when it comes in. And Spirit's only warning here is be okay with the changes that are coming, because this is new cycles. This could even be distance and travel and showing the world the real you. Full moon in Aquarius, the world, the Empress, the world's in her stomach. Like the world, there is so much about the world being in your hands. You are the creator of your destiny. You are able to create anything it is that you want in this life at this point. You are being blessed with wish fulfillments that are coming through because of the healing that you've done, because of the spiritual work that you've been doing. It continues to show up for you. You're incredibly intuitive. And that's why Spirit's asking you to meditate and contemplate. These frequencies may be incredibly helpful to you right now to help you center and ground and receive, get receptive of this information that's coming in for you. Like, there is a king coming into your energy very, very soon. This is everything that you've wanted. This is healing. This is wish fulfillment. Aquarius energy. But Pisces energy more strongly showing up here once again. So Raymond in your reading, they want you. I think it's Raymond that's always here with your readings, because now looking at the King of Cups, I can feel his energy too. Meditate and contemplate, connect. Let him show you what it is that you've got coming in for you. Absolutely. So's the Empress. The Empress has had her fair share of utter betrayals, disappointments, burdens, overwhelm. But the reason why she's the Empress is that she's come out of all of this shit. She's come out of situations where she's been treated poorly, where things have been hard, where she's been abandoned, where she's been left, where she's been through every phase in life almost already. Lost people. We've buried people that we loved and we've cared about. But she's been compassionate and loyal and loving and giving regardless of her situations. Even when you stepped into your shadow sides, you learned from that, you evolved from that, you grew from that, you accepted your actions in situations as well. That's the Empress. That's why she is glowing. That's why that's Taurus, Libra in energy. She's Venusian. She's got wings because she's an angel, because angels do suffer. They have been through suffering, but they still share their light. They still share their guardianship. They still share their hope, their dreams, their faith, and so they're blessed. because that energy of being in something, being a part of something that you can nurture, that you can create, that you've created yourself, that you've grown yourself, that you've built as if it were from your own womb. This has come from you. This is your energy coming into the future. You've created your destiny. You're bringing it into life out of how compassionate and nurturing and giving and caring you've been this lifetime. And this says that you get to choose the next cycle in your life. It's literally in your hands. So meditate and contemplate. What do you want? Asking now about what it is that you're after. The money to come in as quickly as it possibly can. The world, please, Spirit. Bad shuffle. I'm incredibly clumsy at the moment. I've had a very shaky energy all day. Like very light. And another card to suggest healing. Four of Swords. Being able, this is also a card of vacation. Being able to take the time and rest with the heartache. Rest with the disappointments and the loss. Feel the losses. You're going to be able to get the time to go through that expression of that healing. This is healing all of that. The Four of Swords and the Star. There's a time to nest, a time to relax, a time to sleep, a time to, look at how much she's caring for her heart, and the three barbs there representing the previous Three of Swords, the previous heartache, healing from that. Yeah, warriors. And the number 9 up here. Yeah. But the world's your oyster, my love. You've literally, with direction and purpose, this is what Spirit's saying. It's literally up to you. So rather than allowing any kind of limit through what the cards might put on that perception of what that could be, Raymond and Spirit, my ancestors, your guides are like, what do you hope for? What do you wish for? What is it that you truly want? Meditate with that. Think about that. Yeah, I know. I'll do this reading and then I might reset it. But this is just incredibly beautiful, intuitive, psychic, high heart chakra energy that's coming in with this color, that scheme that's coming through. A lot of throat chakra and heart chakra energy activation as well, which can feel incredibly unusual and incredibly different, especially when we haven't had an activation in that area for a long time. Ah, okay, the fact that it's up to you scares you. Well, that's the thing. Okay. Oh man, I wish I could answer this for you, but it's really just not a space that... The only thing I can share with you, Spirit's asking me to share with you, is like the time when I was in that position. I was finding my corporate world, the corporate world, my life, my jobs, the people, everything. I was just Four of Cups energy. If I could point it into a picture, I was just very bored and very just not emotional about anything that was in my life. It was more frustrating, more annoying, more of a hindrance, everything started feeling like hurdles all the time, just to get to work, just to be at work, just to deal with people, and I'd try new jobs, and I'd change the place, and the people would always be the same. It's just like, what the fuck? Who am I? Where am I? I had a separation, a breakup, and then so much going on that I literally went into hermit mode, sat with myself, and I would meditate, and I'm like, right, angels, ancestors, spirit guides, those who love me unconditionally, please just take over my free will and allow me to follow your guidance, allow you to show me the way. My free will is leading me in the wrong direction at times. I'm confused, I don't know what to trust, please guide me. As if you would pray to God. However, that's how I would do it. And I would ask for the guidance, and I'd ask for the directions, and I'd ask for signs. I asked for confirmations. And it led me to doing this in the public eye and to being here today. And it was a very unusual process. I started by obsessing over it and watching it just out of nowhere, out of the blue. Wanting guidance, needing to know answers, but not being able to really get any clear answers, but the answer was I was doing it. You know what I mean? And it took me a little bit to realize that. So there's something in that message that you might be able to take from. There's a lot about being authentic and showing the world the real you, which I think is why I wanted to bring that up as well, because I've brought that up a lot in today's live already. So, being okay. And now you dancing is showing up in my mind's eye as well. Dancing teacher, dancing instructor, like that's something you love to do, right? And literally the world is your oyster. At this point, you can do whatever it is that you choose to do. You can choose your direction. And if that involves travel, the world card is there. If that involves a new location, the world card is there. But the world card is also telling me that you may be somewhat of a fixed energy that fears the change, that doesn't want the change, is comfortable where we're comfortable. So there's a little bit of that coming through as well. I'm drowning on water. Beautiful. I like that. See, that's probably why the body movement, I'm seeing you do your body movement. And I would come to your yoga class. Say you did them online. Say you put them online and said, all right, donate or cash up, whatever the thing is, or subscribe. Like you could do a monthly subscription and go live a couple of times a month or a week, however it is you do, and whoever's got that monthly subscription can jump on whenever they want to. And when they jump online, they're doing a yoga session with you. And they have a lot of fun. You can market your yoga sessions here on TikTok and on YouTube. And like I've found this platform to be incredible for allowing myself to be my authentic self. And when I do get the opportunity to scroll through TikTok, what I'm seeing is so many beautiful, wonderful people being their authentic selves and finding the people who appreciate what it is that they do. But of course, we're always going to find the people that come in with their judgment and come in with their words and come in with their dismay, and they don't like what it is that you're doing. But seriously, that's only ever a projection. It's never, ever about you. And just go for it. Absolutely go for it. Follow your passion. That's one thing I know I've been put on this earth to teach people to do, is to follow their passion, follow their purpose, follow what makes them feel good, and go for that and do that. I appreciate you. You just gotta reach for what it is that you love. Our universal energy is love. The universal language is love, which is also more about not giving it. What are you gonna give if you can't give it outward, if you can't give it to yourself? Another lesson I learned incredibly hard was expecting people to love me and give me love and you know, adore me, when I couldn't even look at myself in the mirror and think, you're nice, you're good, you're this. I could only ever see judgment. I would hear or feel people's judgment towards me. It was a self-worth issue that I had to work on for a very long time. And that comes from conditioning of living with narcissistic parents, you know, and a lot of other things as well. As spiritual as they may be, we've all got our problems, we've all got our issues, but I've now gotten to the stage in my life where I'm able to look at their words and their actions based on their own conditioning and fears. So there's a lot of that involved. Becoming more objective, like Daniel's message was. So my loves, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do Jen's reading in a minute, and then I've got Jacqueline as well. So I've got 2 readings to do, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and fix my internet issue, because I think that could be why we've got quiet energy, although Thursdays are usually a quiet day anyway. It's my Thursday today. It's usually pretty chill, relaxed, but yeah. So I'll be back in a second. I don't know. I'm going to see if I can fiddle with the box a little bit and see if I can get that. I don't know I think that might be it. If not, we'll reset it. Is okay? It keeps showing orange to me, which says like delayed, but it's not red. Oh, good. Okay, well, I'll be right back. We need some Mahakali. That's what we need. Should I just reset it? Should I just reset it? And then we can start again. It was that black sage, the black smoke that I had earlier. Someone doesn't want me out here speaking the fucking truth, I'll tell you that now. They don't like it. They don't like it.